Yoshida has dinner with the girl of his dreams. He is engaging in a plot-staring contest, and Irie thanks him for taking her out. He builds up the courage and asks her if she would like to be his girlfriend. She apologizes to him, telling him that she's seeing someone. Yoshida hangs out with his friend, getting angry that he's been rejected and wishing that she would have just said she's dating someone. He is ready to cry, thinking she stole his heart while she was just dating someone else for the last 5 years. His friend tells him that he will head home because it's getting late, and Yoshida walks home alone, angry at Irie. As he walks, he sees a girl sitting underneath a lamppost and wonders what she's doing there. He calls out to her, asking her what she's doing at this time, and telling her to go home. She tells him that there's no trains, and he asks her if she's going to be sitting here all night. She smiles, asking him to stay at his place and calling him Mr. He asks her what kind of girl would stay at a place of a man she's never met. She tells him that she has nowhere else to go tonight and has no money to stay anywhere. He asks if he's supposed to let her stay for free, but she says that she'll let him develop plot if he lets her stay. He wonders if all girls are like this now, but realizes that he's just met a weird one, telling her not to say that even as a joke. She then tells him that he should just let her stay for free then. She goes inside his apartment and realizes that it's filthy. He thinks that he shouldn't get involved with her or try to learn anything about her because it's not his problem. He will just kick her out in the morning. He goes to bed, ready to sleep, and he tells her she can do whatever she wants. She begins removing plot armor and asks him if he's sure he doesn't want to do anything. He tells her that he won't repeat himself and that he's into older women. She asks him if she can do anything for him, and he tells her he would want miso soup made by a woman. He falls asleep, and she sits alone, thinking about what just happened. In the morning, Yoshida wakes up and realizes he's late to work, but then remembers that it's just Sunday. He smells something and hears the girl telling him good morning. He asks her what a high school girl is doing in his house, and she tells him that she asked him to stay and he let her. He rejects the idea of this, but she tells him that he definitely did. He asks if he did anything to her, worried that he may have developed plot last night. She stares at him, scaring him but then telling him that she's just joking.
Got him!
She tells him that he kept refusing plot development, and he's glad he was able to stay strong. She prepares him miso soup, and he tells her not to make miso soup at a stranger's house. She tells him that he's the one who asked for it, and calls him Mr. He tells her to stop calling him Mr. and to just leave. She asks him if he really doesn't remember anything from last night, and he wonders what she's talking about. His memory begins coming back to him, and he remembers her wearing black plot armor. She calls him Mr. again, and asks him what his name is. He tells her that his name is Yoshida, and she tells him that he looks like a Yoshida.
Yo, that one there was a violation, personally I wouldn't have it.
She then tells him to eat the food already, and he tells her not to tell him what to do. She tells him to eat it before it's cold, and he tries it, realizing it's good. She asks him if he would have preferred Irie preparing it, and he wonders how she found out. She tells him that he was saying her name throughout his sleep last night. She sits next to him, asking him if she could make him feel better. He tells her that she needs to stop, and that he doesn't need her to make him feel better. She begins developing plot, saying that she has big plot. He is dumbfounded, but thinks Irie's are bigger. She asks him what cup size is Irie, and he tells her that they're F cup. She tells him that she's an F cup, and he wonders how she's that big, and she tells him that Irie might be a G or H cup. He thinks that he wishes he could have felt those H cup plots just once.
What do you mean by that?
She asks him if he wants to feel her plot, and he asks her why she's trying to seduce him, and he asks her what her problem is. She tells him that she wants to ask him something, and she hugs him, asking him why he's refusing a girl wanting him in front of him. She tells him that he's the one who isn't normal, because she's never met a man who was able to turn her down. He grabs her, calling her stupid, and asking for her name. She tells him her name is Sayu, and realizes that she gave out her real name. He asks to see her student ID, and sees that she's from an extremely far place. He asks her when she left her house, and she tells him 6 months ago. She tells him she's sure her family is happy without her. He asks her how she's going to survive if she's not going home or to school, and she tells him that she'll find a way to stay at someone's home. She tells him she would find another place, and he asks her how. He gets frustrated, telling her that she should work. She tells him that she can't pay rent just with a part-time job, so he tells her to live with him. He gets up, telling her that he'll knock the stupid out of her and calls her a stupid brat who doesn't know what things are worth. She cries, and he wonders why. Why wasn't she able to have a normal life and a normal love like every other teenager? He tells her that her first job will be doing the chores around here. She tells him that it sounds like she could stay here forever, but he tells her that she can only stay here until she's done being a runaway. He thinks that this